So this is going to be a video on taking derivatives with a lot of trig functions. Alright, so I give you a function, f of x is equal to x squared times sine x plus cosecant x. Alright, so what we're going to have to look at is that right there, the x squared times sine x. That becomes your product rule. So when we take our derivative, we'll take our first part, which is x squared, multiply it by the derivative of sine x, which is cosine x, plus your second part, sine x, times the derivative of x squared, which is 2x. Now that's just the x squared sine x part, that's the derivative of that. You still have to take the derivative of cosecant x, which is going to be a negative cosecant cotangent. Okay. Now all you have to do is do some rewriting. So x squared times cosine x plus 2x sine x minus cosecant x cotangent x. So that's our first one. I'm going to work on another one. Alright, so this one is going to be 2 tangent x minus 4x. So we're going to go ahead and start taking our derivative. Now remember, since it is just a constant number, 2, just take the derivative of tangent. Alright, derivative of tangent is going to be secant squared x. Now you still have to take the derivative of 4x, that's going to be minus 4. So there's the derivative of that function, 2 secant squared x minus 4. Alright, you're going to have to know your trig derivatives. Alright, next function that we're going to look at is going to be f of theta is equal to 2 cosine theta minus 5 secant theta. Right? Now, these are both trig functions. They both have constant terms in front of them. Just take the derivative of cosine, take the derivative of secant. You'll have a 2 in front of the derivative of cosine. You'll have a 5 in the front of the derivative of the secant. Right? So this one is going to be f prime of theta. Remember, the derivative of cosine is a negative sign. Right? So it becomes negative 2 sine theta minus 5, and the derivative of secant theta is secant theta tangent theta. So there's the derivative of that function. Right, so lots of functions that we've just worked on, taking derivatives. Now let's work on another one. Alright, so this function is sine x over x. If you have a trig function and you have division going on there, it is automatic quotient rule. Alright, so when we start taking the derivative, it is our bottom function times the derivative of the top function. Derivative of top function, sine x, is cosine x, minus your top function times the derivative of the bottom function. Derivative of bottom function is 1. Remember, you divide all that by your bottom function squared. So top times derivative of bottom minus, bottom times derivative of top minus top times derivative of the bottom, all over bottom squared. Right. Now after that, I'm just going to do some rewriting. X cosine x minus sine x all over x squared. Right. One more. All right. Now we have a function x sine x plus cosine x. Now the x sine x part, that has to be your product rule. All right. So we're going to go through it one more time. Take your first part, x times the derivative of sine x, which is cosine, plus your second times derivative of the first, minus, in this case now, it becomes a minus sign because the derivative of cosine is a negative sign, so I'm going to write minus sine x. So now I'm going to rewrite my derivative, x cosine x plus sine x minus sine of x. Now you'll see that the sine x and the minus sine x, they cancel each other out, so really this derivative just becomes x times cosine of x. And we are done.